United States dollar benefits from uncertainty about the actual extent of the coronavirus pandemic. The greenback has recovered following the losing streak last week. Today, its index is still regaining earlier losses, heading for the level of 100. The index opened the New York trade at near 99.70 on the final day of the month, and the quarter big market pairs are revising portfolios. Demand for the US currency is going to be buoyant, though investors are not poised for panic beyond nowadays. Global central banks provided enough liquidity. Besides, there is some good news on the coronavirus front. Contamination rates are slowing down in China and Italy as researchers are making progress in the vaccine development and new medical equipment is being applied. Nevertheless, the vaccine will hardly be invented in the near future. Meanwhile, the eurozone's economy is still showing lackluster performance. This week, macroeconomic data is sure to dampen investors' mood. In early April, traders will get to know PMIs on the eurozone's key sectors and the US manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMIs. The data for March will enable traders to evaluate the extent of the economic damage from the pandemic. Investors are appalled by the pandemic scale in the United States. Oddly enough, the US stock indexes are developing rally as if the US has already contained the coronavirus. Having closed with the gains yesterday, the Dow Jones is extending its climb. It seems that the market downplays the scenario of 2008 when the economy needed a few years for revival. Indeed, the ongoing crisis could differ radically from the previous one. For example, this year the global GDP is expected to recover faster thanks to resilience of China's economy rather than the US economy. Meanwhile, investors are keen to buy stocks, being confident that the United States will report decent PMIs. Today, a series of economic data from Canada has not supported the Canadian dollar, which is extending weakness against its American counterpart. In the New York trade, the USD CAD pair rose nearly 0.5%. The pair is growing slowly, hovering at about 1.42 for the second day in a row. Commodity currencies, including the loonie, are taking advantage of some improvement in the oil market. However, both benchmark grades ended down in the evening. WTI settled down at about $20 a barrel. Earlier today, it aimed to test $22. Analysts share gloomy forecast for the oil market for April. Brent crude could slump as low as $10 a barrel, so oil producers will have to moderate oil production rates. Low demand has already forced some exporters from South Africa to Canada to close oil processing plants. At the same time, Saudi Arabia and Russia could pump up production rates, thus worsening the demand and supply imbalance. The US is expected to suffer the most. Oil output in the United States could contract to 8.8 million barrels per day, or by the third from an output rate in the first quarter this year. That's all for today. We wish you profitable deals and waiting for you on our channel tomorrow. See you.